Hey everyone, how's it going? Real quick before the video starts, I just want to let you know the video's in 3 parts. I'll have links at the end of each video if you want to go on to the next one. If you're on your phone, I'll have a link in the description for you to check out. This video is coming out pretty late. The convention was actually 2 weeks ago, so I apologize for that. I had family over and it was really hard to be able to film and edit and stuff like that, so sorry about that. So anyways, have a good time with the video. Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's me, I'm back. This is my BronyCon Baltimore 2016 vlog recap thingamajig. I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it. It's probably going to be that. Yeah, welcome to that. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so bear with me. I'll try to keep it as entertaining as I can. What I'm going to be doing is, because I am terrible at vlogging, I'll show you the clips in a second, but because I was terrible at vlogging, I came up with the idea of what if I just record and take pictures and everything like you would normally do on vacation or whatever. And what if I do like a kind of recap thing with that, and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, it's going to be an experience for me and you. So without further ado, let's get started. So some of you may not know, some of you probably do know. Whoever watches my videos, I appreciate it, thank you. I went to Baltimore for the weekend of my birthday, which was July 8th. I went for BronyCon 2016, and this is my first ever time going to a convention, first ever time traveling on my own, first ever time traveling on a plane. So there's a lot of first times that I went through, a lot of new experiences that I was not comfortable with. I was for sure out of my comfort zone. But I had a good time. I had a really good time, and I do plan on going again next year. So I left on Thursday, the 7th, went to Jacksonville International Airport, whatever you want to call it, and I flew to Boston, and I'm not sure why I had to fly to Boston to go to Baltimore, because Boston is farther than Baltimore. Pretty much what happened was I went to Boston, turned around, and went to Baltimore on another plane. So don't know why it was cheaper to take that flight, but it was, so that, whatever. I was definitely nervous going on that plane because like I said, I hadn't flown since I was like 8. So yeah, that was definitely nerve-wracking. But as soon as I got on the second flight, I was okay. I just again have to get used to the lift off, the landing, and you would think that going on a plane, since you're on air, it should be just a smooth ride, but it was almost like going on a car with the bumps in the road and stuff. But it was all good. So yeah, I landed in Baltimore around maybe 5 or 6. This is where things got really sketchy because I did not know where I was. I was in a completely new city I've never been to before, looking around trying to find my way. I did pretty well, I should say, for being on my own. So from the airport, I went to the light rail station. It's basically a train that takes you all around. That takes you to through Baltimore. So I went there and I met a few people on the train. A lot of them were going to the convention. I actually sat behind PaleoSteno. I don't know if you know who he is. He's kind of big in the community, the Brony fandom. He does like reviews and stuff of movies and TV shows and episodes and all that. I'll put a picture right here. Look at that. But I sat behind him. I didn't say hi to him because I still was kind of in my bubble, kind of in my shell. And also I don't watch his videos, so I don't want to be like, hey, how's it going? I know you. I like your stuff, because that'd be a lie. I don't watch his stuff. I'm sorry. I met a few people, some from Boston, who I'll talk about later. They were really cool. This train was actually jam-packed with people from just Baltimore or just people coming for the convention. As soon as the stop came for the convention center, that train went from being completely full to just empty. Everybody had gone off on the same spot, and it was crazy. So from there, I had gone to the Hilton, which is connected to the convention center, and that's where I was staying. I was supposed to meet someone who I'd met on the forums. I was supposed to be rooming with him and some other people. So we met in the lobby, went to our room, I unpacked, and then me and him, we went to the convention center to go register and get our badges, which I have right here. It's got pins and stuff on it. I did not get it this way, as some of you may know if you've been to a convention. It was just the lanyard and just the badge. This is the name. Oh no! I broke it. This is the name I actually went by on the forum, so if I had seen anybody that I had met on there, they could know who I am. But yeah, I'll get into the pins and stuff later when I talk about the art and things. From there, we got our badge, we got our everything. We went back to the hotel room, met up with some other people who were staying with us, and pretty much I ended up staying there just the rest of the night. I went out at like 10:30. trying to find some food, but everything had just closed, so, you know, I hadn't had a full meal that day. I was pretty hungry, and now I was sad. I was just kind of like, well, I guess I'm gonna go to bed starving. Oh well. That's pretty much the end of Thursday. I think I got a few attempts at vlogs on Thursday, but I don't know. I'll show them. If I have them, I'll show them right now.
I'm in the hotel right now. This is the Hilton right next to the convention center, so it's kind of weird vlogging. I haven't done much except record stuff on my travels, but yeah, I'm like really close up. Because you probably can't even hear me because I don't have a microphone right now, so this is kind of pointless. Yeah, so I'm here. I haven't recorded much, like I said before, if I even keep that video in. But this is completely new to me. This is kind of weird. I'm just wandering around the Hilton right now. You can probably hear me now because there's not that much noise. This is huge. This is a big hotel. Look at this. It just goes on for miles. Checked into my room. Met some guys. Some people. Everybody seems pretty nice. I haven't met too many people that I mean, obviously I don't know anybody, but I don't recognize anybody. I did run into Paleo, if anybody knows who that is. He's a reviewer, YouTuber, famous horseman. I haven't really run into anybody. I haven't seen anybody else. Saw someone got a picture with Jack's Blade, which is pretty cool. To the convention center, we're going on the Sky Bridge, which takes you from the hotel to the convention center. That's pretty cool. Yeah, my social anxiety just keeps getting the best of me. Every time I see someone walking towards me, I'm just kind of, oh, I'm not doing anything, I swear. God, I'm so mad. Yeah. Social anxiety is terrible. In fact, I don't know, I'm just self-diagnosing myself. There's no one over here. There's a nice little lounge we got here. Check that out. Yeah. Just kind of, like I said, I'm exploring, looking around, seeing what I can find. This hotel is huge. The convention center is like twice as big as this, so it's unimaginably insane. When I went to go get my badge, there it is, look at that. I went to go get my badge, and so many people. I already saw people playing music outside. There's already people dressed in their cosplays and stuff. It's pretty cool. This is a new experience for me. In multiple ways, more ways than one. Because not only am I vlogging, but I'm also vlogging at my first ever convention. So yeah, it's interesting. Apparently there's actually parts of this hotel that the convention's going to be at, which also says how big the hotel is. I mean, this is the Hilton, and Hilton's usually like businessy and stuff. There's an open door here. Looks like that's probably, maybe it's nah, it's probably not. Yeah, right now I'm the only one wandering around. Everybody's going to their rooms, or they're just chilling in the lobby. There was a whole bunch of people playing like the card games and stuff. Everybody's just either waiting there or just hanging out there, or they're at the actual center saying hi to everybody. Man, this just goes on. So far from what I've seen of Baltimore, it's very like old city kind of. That's kind of cool. I like that. I've never really been in a city. Oh, I switched hands. I've never really been in a city and just like hung out, or at least like a big city like Baltimore. So this is kind of another experience for me. These tables are so shiny. Look at that. What? It's insane. Oh, I found a dead end. Turn around. I'm actually right at, that's so charming. Look at that. I'm actually right next to the baseball field. I don't know who plays there. I'm not good with baseball teams. I only know the Red Sox and the Yankees because I am a sports fanatic. There's a pub over there. There's a lot of bars and stuff. Yeah. I feel kind of weird because I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what to say. It's such a new experience for me. I'll probably be better tomorrow. I'll have to talk louder. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of afraid to, like, if someone is just walking by and I'm recording and they get in the shot or whatever, or like they're there and they're like, oh, I don't want to be no. Well, what am I gonna do? So I'm just kind of winging it. I'm also doing this on my iPhone, so the quality is probably not gonna be great, but that's what I got so far. Don't have a camera yet. I have my DSLR, but heck no, there's no way that I'm just gonna carry that around and videotape myself. And also, I wouldn't even know if I'm aiming at myself because there's no lens that faces me.
I'm sorry you had to see that. They were definitely uninteresting and you definitely could not hear me. Because of that, that's why I'm making it this kind of video where I'm doing like a recap. So yeah, that's it for Thursday. Now for Friday is when the actual convention started. Friday was the 8th and that was my birthday. I didn't go around saying, hey, it's my birthday. I was just kind of like, if anybody asks what's up, or when if they ask my birthday, I'll just be like, yeah, it's my birthday today, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm trying to remember the panels that I did on Friday. I didn't do much. First thing that I did Friday, the first panel that I've ever gone to was opening ceremonies, which pretty much everybody was at. And that's where they kind of like introduced everybody or most of the people who were going to be there, some of the stuff that they had planned and all that. And they opened with Michelle Creber and Gabriel Brown, aka Black Griffin, and Apple Bloom. They opened up with one of their songs. Reflecting on the moments you lost, the moments you thought would finally be the end. Searching for a light in the dead of the night, when I could light the way for someone else. Here we are, still turning back, not further than the start. And here we are, after searching all those years, we're lying down our destiny. And then they started bringing up all like the community, all the VIP guests and all that. From that point, I was just kind of, there was nothing, I didn't find any, I wasn't going to any other panels for a while, so I was just walking around the convention center trying to find my way around, just looking around for maybe if I could find someone. And I did. I actually got to meet Saberspark and ACRacebest. If you don't know who they are community people. Very popular in the fandom. ACRacebest does, he leads the Bronies React, which is a parody of like the kids and teens and stuff React. They're both very cool guys. But he also does what he calls the low budgets, which is he does demolition derbies and stuff, so it's a lot of him building, fixing cars, not really fixing, working on cars to get ready for races and stuff like that. Saberspark, he does more like analysis videos, he does kind of like little documentaries sort of, talks about fandoms and just like how people react to things and stuff like that. Both very good channels. I'll leave the links in the description for you to check it out. Give them a watch, they're pretty interesting. So yeah, I bet both of them, they were really cool, really nice. I felt bad because everyone was giving them stuff and I didn't give them anything, and I know they're not expecting anything. Next year I'll definitely get them something. Just as like, kind of like a thank you for doing this, thank you for making your videos because they're so good, they're fun to watch. But yeah, I got to talk to them for a little bit and then I was on my own again. From there, I went on to my second panel, which was basically it was a concert with a Tesla coil. yeah, it was a pretty cool show. Like, I'm not sure how they do it. If it's like based off of I don't know, if it's based off of sound or if they have to program the Tesla coil to put out certain amounts of power. I don't know, but it was really cool to see. And you know, science rules. Science rules. Then there was the POS and Semi-Perfect Podcast panel, which was ACRacebest and Saberspark, and Paleo, and then their friend Jim, who was, I guess it was his first convention ever too, and he's not a Brony, so this was completely new to him. They do podcasts based off of entertainment and stuff like that, like movies and TV shows and all that. So yeah, if you're into that, I'll leave a link to their Twitch or wherever they broadcast it from. Also, I'll post any videos because I barely got any. I'll probably post like a video of the panels themselves, because I know ACRacebest, he does film his panels that he's in. So I'll link that below and you can check that out. But yeah, it was essentially a Q&A panel of whatever questions, if it was about the podcast or if it was about what they do in real life. It was whatever, it was a Q&A. Yeah, it was a good time. If actually in the video, you can actually see me at the very bottom left corner, bottom right, it's the bottom right corner. You can see like the back of my stupid head. Also, I'm wearing Pikachu because Pokemon Go is a thing, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. Pokemon training in real life has finally happened. So yeah, ended up being more wandering around the convention. Next was there was a panel with voice actresses and stuff from the show. It wasn't like the main 6 characters, it was just kind of whoever. That was also a Q&A panel. Yeah, I got there kind of late because I was in the other panel.
There's a song out right now, actually I don't even really know who it is, but I think it'd be perfect for Fluttershy. It's like, kill me kindness, kill me kindness.
That's Selena Gomez.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm all about that bass.
From there, I went on to just explore. I found the arcade, or so it's called. It was basically video game heaven. They had Rock Band on one wall. They had 2 stations for DDR. They had Smash Brothers, Mario Kart. They had this, that, everything. They had Mortal Kombat set up. Like, basically, they had projectors all along the walls for some of these games. And then for other games, for like 2-player games, they had little TVs, little TV stations set up, and they had a bunch of different games that you could play, and that was really cool too. I didn't get to play any games. My schedule was so busy, just going to all these panels. But yeah, it was really cool. A very interesting place to be in, because everything, it was all dark. All you could see was like lights and stuff, and it was just cool. I definitely want to do that next year when I go, at least a little bit. Then I went to the Tara Strong panel. Tara Strong had her own panel, and I guess this has been her first time back at BronyCon for years. Like, she hasn't been there in a few years, so that was pretty cool to see. That was another Q&A panel. It's very funny. She's a very talented, very funny. If you don't know who Tara Strong is, she basically voiced your childhood. She's been Timmy Turner, Dill Pickles, Raven from Teen Titans, everybody. Like, I could sit here and make a 10-minute video about who she's voiced, because she's just done so many.
I wish this was lower. Bubbles? Okay, so if Bubbles a cute guy, she might go, whoa. That guy's hardcore. But if she fell off a building, which is weird because she can fly. Maybe she'd like, oh, that kind of hurt. You have gum?
So it was really cool to see her do her voices in person. There was actually a girl from Belgium that she had invited to BronyCon. Her name was Emma, and her story is basically she was being bullied for being a fan of the show, for being a Brony, and you know, bullying is not cool. So I guess her sister had reached out to Tara Strong for like words of encouragement to her, and she responded. And but I guess the bullying just kept going, and it got to the point where Emma was actually hospitalized. I'm not sure if it's because she tried to commit suicide, or I don't think it was. I think she was just like clinically depressed. So yeah, that was pretty bad. So when Tara Strong actually heard about that, she told her, hey, listen, I know what'll make you feel better. Come meet me at BronyCon in July, and I'll show you that there's people who care about you. And she was like, oh, well, I don't have the money to do that. It's gonna be so much money. And Tara Strong just said, go make a GoFundMe. And so they did. They set the goal to 3,000, and within like a month, it was completely funded. And before you know it, she was at BronyCon, and Tara Strong actually brought her up on stage. And she was saying all these nice things about her, saying that everybody in the room was cheering for her and showing her love, and she was crying, and I wanted to cry. It was just a very touching moment.
And amazing artists and creative people, and I want you to know that you're beautiful inside and out, and you can achieve anything that you want. And I always want you to remember this moment with this whole room of people loving you.
And I got to meet her afterwards, and I gave her a hug and said, you're awesome. You know, just don't let anything get to you. Told her have a good time at the con. But she was very sweet. She was a very sweet girl. Yeah, I could tell she very much felt welcome. And I did too. I didn't say this. Being my first convention, I was alone most of the time, but it wasn't like alone where like no one's paying attention to me. It was just kind of alone. I was to myself, but I got to experience everything, and I did still feel like I wasn't alone. I felt like I knew everybody, sort of. So the next thing that I did was Bronypalooza, which happens every year at BronyCon. It's basically Warped Tour or any kind of, it's a concert basically. They got a whole bunch of community musicians to come in, and they perform like a half-hour set, and it was, oh my god. I'll talk about it later in a later segment, kind of segmenting this based off of panels, art, and then the music. I'll finish off with the music and talk more about concerts and stuff. But for the first few hours, they do like rock bands and stuff, and like traditional music. And then towards the later in the night, that's when they bring out like the EDM artists and stuff like that. And oh my god, it was amazing. So I had stopped by there for a little bit just to see who was playing, see if I can catch anybody that I know. Sadly, I didn't. One that I really wanted to see was P1K, Pony One Kenobi, and I did not get to see him, sadly. Mainly because I'd gone there, seen the first few acts. I saw like the first act, and then I left to go have dinner at Pratt Street Ale House, which is right across the convention center, which is very good. If you're ever in the Baltimore area and you're in the convention center area, go to the Ale House, because their burgers were pretty freaking good, man. I can't lie. But yeah, so I had gone back after dinner. I went back to the concert because I still had a little bit more time. Yeah, I got to see a few more songs from one of the performers, which they rocked the house. Like, I walked in and it was a metal show, so I was kind of like, whoa, okay, we have everything here. From there, it was time for the Bronies React panel. This is also featuring ACRacebest and Saberspark, and then some other people from the community. There was LittleshyFiM. He does the parody of CinemaSins, where he sins the episodes of My Little Pony. And he does other stuff. He does like PMVs and all like stuff like that. If you don't know what a PMV is, it's a pony music video where they take music and they do animations, or they'll just take scenes from the show and put it to music. Basically, yeah, you would know if you are familiar with like YouTube poops and all that. It's almost what it is, just more high quality. There was BronyDanceParty, who does animations, and he doesn't go by ToonLink anymore. It's just Viva Reverie, but he does animations and stuff too. It was a pretty awesome panel. Oh, and Gabriel Brown, aka Black Riffing, he was there too.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Saberspark! Black Riffing! There he goes! Sorry, that's all he had time for. Oh, he's back!
The artist formerly known as ToonLink.
Hello.
I'm a ToonLink. How you doing tonight?
I am, well, I should be tired, but today I learned about energy drinks.
There you go!
BronyDanceParty!
Hi!
Stage LittleshyFiM!
And this is your 2016 Republican nominees.
So yeah, that was pretty much a Q&A, and I ended up finding out something about Finding Dory. This isn't really a spoiler, but if you go to see Finding Dory, there's a character named Becky, and she's like a bird, duck, loon thing. And she's just crazy. She looks almost like she has rabies, if birds can get rabies. But if you notice in the credits, she wasn't credited. Her voice actor, because it wasn't really voice acting, it was just noises. But they weren't credited. And I actually ended up finding out that Black Griffin was the voice of Becky. And so I'll have the link to the Brony's React panel down below. You can check that out. And he said he has the whole story for it. But it was pretty interesting to find out that someone who I listened to his music and stuff voiced one of my favorite characters from Finding Dory. So that was pretty cool. And I think that was actually the last panel on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. From there, went back to BronyPalooza and pretty much stayed there for the rest of the night until 2:30 in the morning. I'm telling you, this concert thing was legit. Like I said, I'll talk about that later when I'm talking about all the music and stuff. Saturday I just went to a few more panels. I went to the Asian delegation. That was one of the first ones that I went to, and that was pretty cool. That was there were some guys who came from like Malaysia and the Philippines. They came to talk about how they do things on their side. They were showing off some art from people from their countries. They were showing off animations, games, and stuff like that. And it was pretty cool. Pretty educational. I got some free art from it, and that was pretty nice. Yeah, so pretty much Saturday was mostly panels. I did get to go to the marketplace, and that is another thing that I'll talk about in another segment when I'm talking about the art. But the marketplace was huge. And that's where they have like all the vendors and stuff, if you can't tell what a marketplace is. But I walked in and I was absorbed. My wallet went to another dimension. So much money was spent there. Or at least in my opinion. Some people were spending so much more money than me. I spent maybe a fraction of what everybody else spent. But because this was my first con, I didn't want to spend too much money. So yeah, I did that. It was another lonely day for me. Pretty much I spent the entire time alone. So then that night was definitely one of the bigger panels that they have pretty much every year for a while now, was the Who's line. That's also headed by ACRacebest and Saberspark and all of them. But if you've never seen Who's Line, which I don't know what's wrong with you, that's an amazing show. It's probably not even on TV anymore, but it's basically... Okay, Who's Line? It's an improv show. That's what I was looking for. That's the word, improv. God dang it. So yeah, they had stuff written by the audience, stuff that they just didn't know about, and they had to act it out or do whatever the skit called for.
We know all the time, the panda, I think they're beautiful and they will soon be mine. And then I take off the veil and see that they're furry and totally creepy.
I went to the zoo, just like you, walking casually with my friend named Dave, and then all of a sudden I look down, and Panda looks at me and says, "Are you the boss of Apple Blue?"
Black and white, what a fright, not just a panda but a fangirl. Be careful, they will tear up your heart and make it hurl.
And a fangirl!
I was walking through the Panda Express. I was absolutely in distress. I saw her with a Negro. I said, "Hey, what's up, Panda Girl?" Panda Fangirl.
Very funny. It was the funniest panel I went to. So yeah, I'll have a link for that in the description. And another one I forgot to talk about was Riffing is Magic. That was also on Saturday. And that's where they all got together and one of them picked a movie. None of them had ever seen it before. None of them had ever seen it before, actually. And they played it in front of everybody and they reacted to it like just right there. It was basically kind of a Mystery Science Theater 2000 kind of thing where they just comment on everything about the show, about the movie. It was pretty funny. I forget what the movie was called. I think it was like The Princess and the Pony or something like that. And they ended up saying, I think it was by the same people who made Sharknado, so you can probably from that you can tell how bad that is. So I'll have the link for that in the description too. And then after Who's Line, I went to BronyPalooza Night 2, and that was a lot of fun. Let me just say, from the amount of jumping I did and just bouncing around from just the energy of the music and stuff like that, just all of that. And just walking too around the convention center and stuff. That was pretty intense. My legs were pretty sore when I got back home. For a few days, my calves were just on fire. So then Sunday was more of my day to just walk around. There was like maybe 1 or 2 panels that I wanted to go to, but it was also my day to leave, so I couldn't spend too much time there. I think I ended up missing just closing ceremonies. That's sad, but that's kind of like the whole wrap up to the convention. That's where they say how many people attended and all that. But that was my day to just hang around, get some more pictures of people, maybe go get an autograph, spend more time in the marketplace because that was a definite thing that I had to do. But yeah, so I went to a panel called Getting Your Hoof in the Door with Michelle Creber, Gabriel Brown, Black Riffing, Basic, who is Nathaniel Brown, who is Gabe Brown's brother, and Monique Creber, who is Michelle Creber's mom. A lot of family thing going on there. But they were talking about how basically you can get involved in music or voice acting or basically anything. And that was essentially like a Q&A panel too.
Yeah, actually it was a crazy loon, so I hope you
named Becky. It was a female loon.
Yeah, a crazy female loon.
A lot of the panels with like VIP guests and community guests and all like that, they were Q&A panels too. But hey, if you're going there finding out stuff and learning, that's kind of what the panels are for, unless it's just also to have fun. One panel I forgot to mention was from Saturday. It was a voice acting panel. It was basically how to get started in voice acting and all like that, whether in the community or in like an actual thing. And that was really cool. I'm kind of sad that like I look back now and I was just kind of like, oh, I should have volunteered to do it, because they had volunteers come up in. They had different lines from characters, and they had a picture of the character that you had to voice, and then people would be saying different characteristics for them.
Yeah, so your name, and the name of the character, and
those are your lines. My name is Karen, and I'm auditioning for Hound. Okay, here we go. You know what? I'm not going to speak to them ever again, and I'm not going to invite them to another party for as long as I live.
If they're doing it next year, I definitely want to volunteer for it. But while I was there, I was just kind of like, I don't want to go in front of these people and look like an idiot. Other people didn't have a problem with that, so whatever. So that was really cool to go see. I didn't mention Saturday night at the concert, I actually ran into one of the people I met on the forums, and this is the first person, besides the people who I was staying with, this is the first person from the forums that I met online that I met in person. He added me on Facebook, and we kind of talked a little bit before that, but he was really cool. And I met him somehow. The whole time I was trying to find him, but I guess his phone wasn't working, so like all the messages that I was sending him weren't going through. But I ended up finding him, just bumping into him at the concert on Saturday. So yeah, we were just so excited to see each other. We just hugged right there, and this is the first time I've ever seen him in person. Before that, I've only seen like pictures on his Facebook and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. That's one of the things about the Brony fandom, is that like even if you meet them online, you feel like you'll know them in person. So yeah, that was definitely really cool. And then we kind of split up after that, because we were both getting videos and stuff. I was also enjoying the concert, but he was too. So he kind of went and did his own thing on the other side of the concert. He ended up leaving at like 1:30, whereas I stayed for the rest of the night that night too, until 2. So yeah, I couldn't find him. And then the next day, Sunday, I met him again when I was going to the marketplace, and I bumped into him, and he had just gone out of a panel, and he had like all this stuff on him that he got from that panel. And I was like, what's all this? And he's like, I won! And I'm like, okay, cool. So he was actually getting in line for an autograph. No, wait, this is actually before my panel. I was leaving the marketplace, going to the Hoof in the Door panel. He was going to get an autograph from Tabitha St. Germain. I had said bye to him, and then I went to my panel. That panel was maybe like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And then I left out of there, and from there I went to go get in line for an autograph for Michelle Creber and Gabriel Brown, which I have there. I will show you when I'm going through the art and things that I've got section. So I went there, got my autograph, got pictures and everything. They were really cool. They were really cool to hang out with. I didn't really hang out with them, but I got to talk to them, and I was kind of really nervous, of course, because they're famous in my eyes. So I was just kind of like, oh my god, I'm meeting famous people for the first time ever. But they were really cool, really nice. And so then I had gone out of there, and as soon as I left my line, I see my friend, he's just wandering, and I'm just like, did you just get out of your line? And he's like, yeah, I did. And I'm like, he waited 2 hours in line basically for an autograph. And I mean, that's not as bad as some other people. One of the guys that I was rooming with waited for like 5 hours to get a voucher for the autograph and then to get the autograph itself. When you go to BronyCon, you gotta prepare for lines. Some people actually call it LineCon, and I know why. I got to experience that firsthand. I kind of talked to him for a few minutes there, and then I was just kind of like, all right, well, I gotta go in a little bit, so I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I probably won't see you again. So I said bye to him, and I said, till next year, friend. So now I'm going next year. I'm probably gonna end up rooming with him. We were talking about that online too. Both came back. If you're watching this, by the way, Chris, hi. I hope you don't mind that I'm talking about you, but you're a really cool guy. So then after that, I just kind of wandered around a little bit more, and then I went to, so I had to go back to my hotel to get all my luggage and stuff. So and they had like a little cafe. So I stopped at the cafe, got a sandwich, and while I was eating my sandwich, the people that I actually met on the train on Thursday from Boston, it was a mom and a daughter. I probably should have said, I didn't say this earlier, but it was a mom and a daughter, and the daughter was maybe 12, maybe. I'm sorry if I'm getting your age wrong. If you're watching this, I don't know how you found this, but hey, hi, you're really cool. But yeah, she came up to me and she was like, hey, how's it going? You liking the con? You having a good time? I said, yeah, it was really fun. Blah, blah, blah. Went through that whole spiel. She had to go meet with her mom because they were packing to leave too. And then the mom ended up coming over to talk to me. She was asking questions too. And then she was like, she said, are you leaving? And I said, yeah, I'm taking the train. And she said, oh, well, when's your plane? I said, it's around about 6. And she said, oh, ours leaves at 5:50. You want to just share a taxi? And I said, I've never ridden in a taxi before. And she said, oh, no, it's cool. I said, wait a minute, you're offering to share the taxi with me? You're going to drive me to the airport? She said, yeah, it's cool. And I was like, oh, I mean, sure, I guess, if you don't have a problem with it. So she was like, yeah, it's no problem. So we got all of our luggage. They got all of our luggage together. And we got the taxi. And this is my first time riding a taxi. And I got to sit up front. And it was... He drove fast, but the whole time he was asking about like the convention stuff and what we were there for. He was a really nice guy about it. We got to the airport. She actually ended up paying for the whole taxi, which was really cool. I was like, oh my god, you guys are awesome. Like, I wasn't expecting this. And they're like, oh, it's no problem. We're glad that you had a good time and stuff like that. And we'll be here next year. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want to be back here next year too. So before we left, we kind of were just like, we were saying bye and stuff, and we said, we'll see you next year. So, you know, I guess it's a definite thing that I'm going next year to say hi to all these people. But yeah, it was really cool. So then from there, went to the plane, went from Baltimore to Atlanta, and then Atlanta to Jacksonville, and back home. And so I'm here now. It's definitely a very fun trip. I got out of my bubble, got out of my comfort zone, and just went. The main reason I wanted to go was just because it was my birthday, but it was also because it's BronyCon, and I've been wanting to go to that for 3 years now, so finally got to go, and I want to go back, and the year after that, and probably the year after that too. And if you're watching this, and if you know me, and you are interested in going, let's go. Let's do it. We're going to go together and have a real good time. I know for a fact, because everybody goes there and they have a good time.